So my name is Micah Lowe. I'm the founder of a company called Simply O3, which specializes in making these guys. These are ultra pure ozone generators that produce ultra pure concentrations of ozone that could be considered a laboratory or a research grade level of ozone that can be used for a wide variety of applications. But I just wanted to have a little bit more of a heart-to-heart. I'm not going to go into the technicals of what makes this machine good and all the different product development and iterations that have gone into making a machine that is very usable for people. I just wanted to share with you why I got involved with this. And I'm a little bit limited on what I can say just by the nature of working with ozone. I have this very distinct memory of getting a call from our parents. My older brother got the call because I think we were at soccer or basketball practice or something like that. And so I was pretty young. I was 13, 14, somewhere in there. I don't know exactly. But we got this call, and my parents had called a meeting of the family to get together. I have a big family, so I have 10 siblings. So we could tell just by the tone, or he could tell, that it was something serious. And I remember him speculating as to what it could be. Maybe we're moving, maybe there's going to be some sort of big change like that, but nothing so serious as what actually happened. So my family got together in the living room, and my parents told us that Matt has a terminal brain cancer. He has a glioblastoma, which is a pretty rare form of brain cancer, and it's terminal. He's going to die from this. And that was pretty hard hitting at that age. That was very hard hitting because my family was so important to me. And, we had a big family. We loved each other and very close knit, and just really impactful to have that happen. And then subsequently, what happened after that was my brother Matt that got diagnosed with brain cancer. And so I'm going to kind of speed up here, but I had another brother, Sam, who died in a tragic accident. And so I became obsessed with what can we do to potentially help Matt get better, and so I became really interested in health and wellness just at a pretty young age. And if you're familiar with my work at Therium, you might understand why I'm going into that space more. And I'm going to bring this back to ozone in a second. I know it's getting off track, but yeah, I became really interested in that space, and I wanted to find something that was really helpful for Matt. So the physicians that helped Matt, some of them were really great. And then I became a little bit disenchanted, though, because as I was going through nursing school and as Matt was getting different treatments for his cancer, it was pretty apparent that he wasn't getting the results that he needed. In fact, they wanted to put him on this drug that was extremely toxic. It was an experimental drug because he got to the point that they said, we don't know exactly what to do, and no blame on them. It's a very complex disease to work with, cancer. I don't expect them to have all the answers. The thing that kind of dismayed me, though, was that they wanted to put him on these experimental drugs, and that kind of turned him into a guinea pig for the medical system, because this one drug in particular was very toxic, just lots of negative side effects. And it only worked for 13% of people based on a certain genotype they had. But they didn't even test them for the genotype. They just wanted to put them on the drug. So that to me kind of said, like, hey, we're just kind of interested to see what happens with your brother. We're not so vested in the outcome because it's a statistic. And that's kind of what he turned into. So I became really interested in hyperbaric oxygen after that, because a friend had recommended that for Matt. And so Matt started to do these hyperbaric oxygen treatments, and that was massively transformational for him. Really helped him in his sleep quality, his energy, etc., like all sorts of stuff. And I don't sell any hyperbaric oxygen stuff, but it got me down the rabbit hole of all these different oxidants. And then I found ozone, and this is, I have to say, unrelated to Matt, but I found ozone and I became fascinated with it because it can be used in so many different capacities. Like, it's used in winemaking, it's used in water distillation, it's used in all sorts of different industries, agriculture, even hot tubs and spas, even just like doing the foot spas at a pedicure place, that kind of stuff. So it's very multifactorial and can be used in so many different environments. But hyperbaric oxygen was kind of my introduction to that, because I started to learn about oxygen, different forms of oxygen, and that was my entry point into learning about ozone and all the different industries that can be utilized in. So I recognize with Matt, like in the case of hyperbaric oxygen, if we can get his terrain to be performing better and get his body to be performing optimally, or at least as optimal as it can, that's going to create a better platform for all his other stuff to be more efficient and more effective. But in the same way, ozone can be utilized applies for lots of terrains, whether that's oil or water or air or what have you, whatever it might be, and can be really used to make that terrain a better place, which ultimately is going to create better wellness for us as people. So I became very passionate about ozone. I started to do some writing about ozone. That got word of mouth out, and that started to snowball into now having an ozone company. So now we specialize in making these things that help people and assist people all over the world. And we're very, very thankful to be doing it. But that's just a little bit about my story, a little bit of a heart to heart. I know it's kind of like hard to understand exactly all I was saying and how that ties together, but in my mind, it makes sense. But I think the important thing is that I do have empathy for the situation that you might be in. And I do really care about people in this space that are going through a hard time, and not everybody is. I'm not saying that, but I really do care about the results that people get and that kind of stuff. So I've spent thousands of hours on the phone with many of you people, and I'm so thankful for it. I've had so many amazing stories, so many amazing testimonies with this product, and even with competitors' products. But it's just incredible, the space that we're in. So I'm massively thankful, and I love doing this work. I plan on continuing it for the rest of my life.